Turning now to the war in Ukraine, it is day 100 of Russia's war, and Ukraine's president says that Russian forces are controlling 20% of the country, an area he describes as, quote, a complete disaster. Ground and air assaults for weeks have destroyed countless homes and buildings throughout the eastern and southern part of Ukraine, and thousands of soldiers and civilians have been killed in that bombardment. Imtiaz Tyab has this report on life in the Russian-occupied city of Kherson. And we have to warn you, as we have so many times before, that these images may be hard to watch.
Hung by his wrists and put in stress positions, Alexander Guz, a former Ukrainian military draftee, says he was tortured by Russian soldiers, and while his scars are fading, the memories of what happened to him are not. They put a bag over my head and then began beating me, he says. I was so severely beaten, I lost consciousness. Kremlin-backed forces seized control of his southern Ukrainian hometown of Kherson in the early days of its invasion. Since then, Moscow's grip on the city of nearly 300,000 has only tightened, with Kherson now an oppressive dystopia where allegations of torture and disappearances are widespread. Through an encrypted video call, we connected with Bogdan Andrenko, a 20-year-old volunteer providing aid to people in need in Kherson. You feel constantly under threat that Russians will come and take you away, he says. A bunch of volunteers in the city were already taken by the Russians, and we don't know what happened to them.
You must be at least a little bit afraid that something might happen to you.
Every single day, he says. Every so often, video emerges from Kherson of Ukrainian civilians resisting Russia's occupation, only to be met with violence. Those who manage to make it out take shelter in cities like Odessa to the south, where they receive aid and other support. It's here we met Olya Chumachenko and her 4-year-old son Kostya, who fled Kherson over a month ago. I knew I had to leave the town I was born in, she says, but I did it for my son. He's my only reason for living, she says.
Now, we have an update for you on those long-range rocket systems that the president authorized for Ukraine this week. Ukrainian forces are now in an unspecified European country receiving training on the weapons in the hopes they can take back that territory from Russia. Gayle.
All right, Imtiaz Tyab in Ukraine, thank you very much.